afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacaster. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, of Hito 1 vs 1 owner, Kholodny Ferma. In the west, it's Akazawa Izumi, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The 2nd Armoured Division versus in the east, it's Angreifen, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Panzer Division, we got here Spearhead, Mobile Defense, and German Infantry. With double infantry Panzerfaust versus Akazawa with airborne. Bit of a delayed start there for Angreifen, roughly 30 seconds. Pathfinder start here for Akazawa, so that'll be this kind of strategy. Certainly very popular with certain American players. On this case, he is mixing up with a regular rifleman. Might have been a slight cooldown then, how many just, go heavy on the Pathfinders. Angreifen here committing, though, to the German infantry doctrine. With 250 half-tracks, stormtroopers, veteran squad leaders, and all the fun stuff. Gonna do MD42 start there for Angreifen, very much standard. Wire entry here across the entrance, looks like 2 strips of it, just to make sure no Germans somehow manage to pass through and get through that door, at least that way. Tank tries up here to defend the car front, very good move there. Pan using sulfur, it's gonna do MD42 out there for Angreifen. Wiring off the cut-off point here to make it harder for Akazawa to harass and disrupt it. Second gonna just go on the way there for Angreifen. MD42 being hauled ahead, they're backed up by the Grenadiers. Car point secured, Pan using sulphurs. Second Grenadiers caught, they're almost on MD42, meaning they're going to try and get into the church. In this case, it looks like he won't be able to get in there. It's going to set up instead. He could maybe have rushed it, but then again, he might have worried about something else there. Either way, disengages, which is ultimately, I think, in the longer run, at least the best choice here. More Pathfinders up for Akazawa. Does pop into the church, but is quickly turned from that, since with only one window to shoot at the MD42, the company is backing up. That would have been a very loose engagement there for Akazawa and his rifleman. Pioneers further defending in the south. Barbed wire in this case, it does open up for someone to use the cover against them, so perhaps not the best laid strip of barbed wire in all of the German Reich. Pioneers to have the fuel point secured, going to move southwards there. Also noting beacons very low up here for Akazawa to sort of give him a bit of an extra intelligence edge. Certainly something that can catch him on very much as more and more begin using Pathfinder. Set of beacon and the little edge that actually gives has become more and more popular. Back here we got Grenadiers on the way there for Angreifen, and certainly good to see some players valuing reconnaissance and just any kind of intelligence on their opponent's movements. Third Grenadiers got there for Angreifen. Pioneers securing the southern munitions point here with all their might. Sandbags, barbed wire again. Once more note, a bit of a gap there, so someone can actually sneak into it. Don't know if there's some sort of purpose to it I might be missing here, but anyway, it's going to be setting out for Angreifen. Triple Grenadiers. I imagine Akazawa will be taking up. Yes, that'll be the platoon command post, the lieutenant. More beacons up here. Lots of beacons, in fact. Really trying to get an idea there what Angreifen is doing, and might also just cause Angreifen to get a bit more paranoid about the terrain. Might there be a beacon hiding somewhere that could catch him off guard and proceed to tell his opponent about his movements? Lots of beacons. He's just spamming them. I mean, they cost nothing, and they really don't, drag up any resources. So I can see the logic in just spamming them. I mean, at some point they're going to give you something to work with, I imagine. MD42 then away from the church, pushing back the Pathfinders with heavy bursts of fire. Ambulance on the way there for Akazawa. Pioneers moving in. Lieutenant, I imagine, is almost done here for Akazawa. Grenadiers elsewhere. We got take up there for Angreifen. Southern point being secured. And another beacon. Even as he's taking the point, he's just throwing them down liberally. I mean, that's definitely a first. Pioneers they caught laying down S-mines, so he's attempting to here on the path there. Also could cover the retreat path for some troops. That would have been a very sneaky move there by Angreifen. Ambulance out there as well on top of the lieutenant. Pioneers routed. Make sure that Angreifen's moving back his machine gun to the carve point to defend the carve point and the fuel point here versus Akazawa. Up north they're going to use stalled here versus the reactions. We got a 250 half on there for Angreifen. First thing he gets as soon as the tech up is done, he aims for the Leichter Schützenpanzerwagen. Tech up half track halfway down there. Tech of course is always already done. You can't get the 250 half track without having tacked. Like the Dodge truck or the Soviet M3A1. Of course, the Soviet Scout Cutter, of course, requires a bit something else, but still. Mortar on the way there for Akazawa to help deal with Angreifen in his defensive positions. We'll have to see if he's ready there for the 250 half-track. Since obviously this kind of strategy does have a particular weakness, as we have noted before, it's really, really short on snares, meaning like, sure, the rifle in the squad itself might be a problem, but you can just take clear on that one. It can actually give the rest of Akazawa's troops, in particular the Pathfinders, a really rough time. And I imagine that is exactly what Angreifen is intending to do with the 250 half-track. Grenadiers falling back. .250 half-track there rolling out. .250 half-track sweeping in here. Pathfinders, they're going to get routed. You should hear somebody with the lieutenant again. They got nowhere really stopping the half-track with the pioneers. And this stuff is not upgrading them with flamethrowers, which would, you know, be the usual thing here. Even the riflemen are retreating. You can see here that Akazawa's a bit terrified that he rabble of the 250 half-track pioneers popping up to his territory there. And the half-track to Meltra could, of course, stuff it with stormtroopers with MP40s. That is, by the way, a really potent combination. Tellermine starting expecting some sort of light vehicle up for Akazawa that could try and counter this 250 half-track. Not a bad idea. Very close to being able to call in the stormtroopers, and it's certainly starting to look like Angreifen will do exactly that. We will be... There we go. Stormtroopers can now arrive to the front line of North Gunners bringing back resistance and Pathfinders. Half-track running back to base. And there you go. Stormtroopers scored out. Apparently he moved a bit too far. Also worth noting he's upgrading with the Panzerschreck, so it might be he's actually going for a tier 3 rush, or at least a tier 2 skip. I suppose would be a better way to describe this strategy. A lot of players are tied to rush tend to actually be not very good at the rushing part. They're good at skipping, but not so much the rush part, being fast about it. So I'd say we call this a tier 2 skip strategy. Stormtroopers with Panzerschreck and MP40s, reasonably good as infantry and armor. Of course, you still have to get close to the MP40s. So an interesting combo there by Angreifen there. Go MP4 or Panzerschreck first. Maybe he probably should have gone for the MP40s first. With the Panzerschreck, since Ops is going to be charging into infantry with it, in which case the MP40s in the on the Stormtroopers will be worth a lot more for them than the Panzerschreck. After they're taking a lot of damage again, misordering. Might be able to get the half-track out of the probably should part of the Stormtroopers just in case it can lay down a smoke screen to protect the half-track as it retreats, but looks like they're able to salvage it. So then sort of worked out there for Angreifen, and the second Panzer Division Akazawa there finding himself a bit on the defensive versus Angreifen. Stuart Leiching on the way, that's going to give him a bit of a hard time, though of course he does have the Panzerschreck to help with that a bit. And theoretically, he might even consider going for a second Stormtrooper squad with Panzerschrecks, in which case, of course, he's going to have 2 to then try and stop the Stuart, plus, of course, a lot of Stormtroopers and a lot of MP40s. So we'll see if that's actually Angreifen's endgame here, or at least mid-game. Mortar on the way there. But yeah, it's starting to look like it is a tier 2 skip. Nope. No, there's a bunker, right. Mortar almost done. More beacons. He's just tossing them down. So many beacons. Rifling northwards. Stormtroopers up for the centre. Not sure that's the best move with them. I mean, right in the centre, they're going to be right also in the open. They want to kind of be taking the smaller path at the side to get closer more easily with the MP40s, rather than here where there's a lot of open ground and no easy ways to just get close without getting shot at. I mean, without using the smoke grenade, and then the smoke grenade is not going to be able to cover that much ground. So tactically, I think a bit advisable employment of the Stormtroopers there. 50 caliber now being airdropped for Akazawa. Interesting. Half-track mobilized here, the Pioneers in it, flamethrower on the way, and there we go, it is indeed a tier 2 skip. Although, with this timing, it could actually be a rush. So for now, I'm just going to call it a skip. In honor of all those who actually failed to rush. Half-track as an all-foot straight into the only rifle squad with the only snare. Splendid. Of course, with the Pioneers inside the 250 half-track, they can swiftly fix it. Of course, now there's a Steward out, so he's going to have to get the Stormtroopers up there to back it up. And there you go. And calling the second one, the Panzerschreck is not going to be on time to stop the Steward light tank. We'll have to see if that's what he ends up with, though. Gonna do some upcut Panzerfausted. And noting, of course, he does have the range bulletin for the Panzerfaust, making it a bit harder for the Stuart to stay clear of that. Victory points wise, Angreiffen's got the lead here at Akazawa at the moment. 10 going for it. Stormtroopers moving in, gonna easy as well. Stuart firing away there. Grenadiers in hot pursuit, and there you go. Stormtrooper fire the rocket, penetrates the Stuart and damages it. Nicely done there. Rifling it off from Lieutenant in the house, almost wiping out the entire unit. Panzerfaust off from the Stuart. Quit the Stormtroopers, finish it off here. There's no infantry nearby to screen the Stuart here from Angreifen's Panzerjäger. Stormtroopers. Stormjägers. Yes. Anyways, Grenadiers moving up here. 5th Cavalry being held up to sort of stop this. Stuart takes another Panzer hit, but the Grenadiers are being suppressed. Can the Stormtroopers get into position without being stopped by the 50 caliber? Nope. And that just gives the Stuart enough leeway there to escape a explosive death at the hands of Angreifen. Car part at the same time has been hit. They was ultimately repulsed. The MG42 in the mortar that Angreifen had hold up. Very good. Support cop. Kind of rushy, I would say. Kinda. Not super sold on it yet, but I'm starting to accept this could be an actual, genuine rush from Angreifen. Now the question is, what does he rush out? Because theoretically, rush out the Ostwind. It's just historically the Ostwind is not very good to rush out. Stuart could be an idea, but there's not immediate need for that. So it would be the Panzer IV, and that's kind of the slower option. But you know, still a fast Panzer IV, fast-ish, is pretty good. And the Son of Grenadiers about to get murdered by the Stuart and all of his troops. Grenade off on the mortar. Almost takes it out, but isn't quite able to, you know, deliver sufficient damage to really kill the rest. Except Carl. Up north, in the meanwhile, Angreifen runs into his mortar, and that in fact looks to be getting wiped here by Akazawa and the 3rd Armoured Division. Oh, yeah, mortar wipe. Angreifen can reclaim it. Got the Storms from up with the Panzer. More pioneers for Angreifen to support armour. Can soon go for this Ostwind or the Stug. In fact, he can't go for it now, but is he likely going to do it? Probably not. Probably. I'm not going to rule it out entirely, but meanwhile, Akazawa, they're struggling a bit under all the attacks from Angreifen. Does not really have a lot of potential counters then for even an Ostwind. So it could be an idea there for Angreifen, but again, I'm wagering a Panzer IV is much more likely to happen. Stormtroopers then inside the church with MP40s with their Panzerschreck, but they are not making any more progress in the face of stiff resistance from Akazawa. Back here, troops reinforcing, seizing the northern point. 250 after then, Darnit repairs, 2 kills, veterans 1. MG42 gaining veterancy 2. 250 half-deck being fixed up. Panzer IV is moments away here for Angreifen for Deutschland. Stormtroopers falling back and can basically just use the veterans 1 ability to heal themselves automatically. It's a nice little ability they have. And a Panzer IV there for Angreifen.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Panzerkampfwagen 4. Fuel cache out for Angreifen as well, indicating there might be some sort of long-term plan. Is he actually going for a tier 2 skip tier 3 into tier 4 strategy? I mean, that'd be very interesting. It's definitely not your average Wehrmacht strategy we're seeing sort of being enacted here by Angreifen, so it's a bit tricky to fully pin it down. I mean, most players, for example, will not equip both MP40s and a Panzerschreck. But technically, if you're going for the Panzerschreck, you might as well go for the MP40 anyways, but it's still not something you see a lot of. Ooh, mortar hit there, taking out Otto. Panzer almost done, fuel catch up. Akazawa is still behind. He's gone for the captain, probably realizing that, and he's going to need anti-tank. And so they could, of course, just airdrop them in. I mean, that's something you could do here with the Doctrine. Still moving through there. Avoiding this spot here, it seems. Bit of flanking with the Pathfinders, not bad, but they're about to encounter a bit of an obstacle. They are not ready to deal with those. The Panzer IV charging through here. 50 Cavalry there trying to set up here at the side of the church, but leaves itself deeply exposed to Angreifen's Panzer IV. Half moving in there, ready to deal with the Pathfinder as well. 5th Cavalry there taking catastrophic losses. Half the team vanishes in the single shot from the Panzer IV. Pathfinder's about to get wiped out with the 250 half-track. Need to retreat. Now looks like Akazawa might be trying to do too much in there. Go 50 Cavalry down. Bazooka fire here from the Lieutenant and Stewart there, trying to sort of slow it down a bit. Pathfinders look like they will actually escape. Meanwhile, the mortar, though, is getting absolutely destroyed, and the Pathfinders go down to the MD-42 in the end. In the south, Captain is spotted by the 250 half. He's going to treat that one as well. Stewart moving in, but the Panther is quick to pursue and block off any attempt there. He can take up now, but Akazawa is going to need anti-tank to have a chance at stopping Angreifen. Well, he's slowing him down and giving himself more time to do whatever else he wants to. .250 half-track charges into the entire thing there. There you go. Might take enough damage from the bazookas and the super. There you go. MD-42 suppresses the Lieutenant, forcing a retreat. A nasty attack there from Angreifen, which actually ends up succeeding in disrupting Akazawa's western defense. Cheeky, yet effective. Gonna be standing about here, sending out. Veteran squad leaders being added there slowly to Angreifen's forces by now. No sign of tier 4, which indicates he might just be going for a lot of Panzer force possibly here versus Akazawa, who is in fact taking up now. He has gone for an anti-tank gun. But yeah, he's going to try and take out P. Shermans or Jacksons. I'm guessing Jackson, that tends to be sort of the more likely bet from a lot of American players. Then we see there's the Stewart light tank, 7 kills, 32, very good. Pathfinder being assaulted here by the Stormtroopers. Up close he could pop tactical advance in that way, trying to clear out the Pathfinders. But in this case is a bit too slow to execute. Oh, half to go down to the M1. On the other hand, Akazawa is losing a lot of ground here to Angreifen at the moment. He needs to re-establish control of the battlefield here versus the Germans before Angreifen basically just kicks his face in with his jackboots. There we go, the Sugafine M1 anti-tank on fire. None of the shots hit or penetrate. Even the Panzer IV unblemished. The second hit there from the anti-tank gun definitely penetrates the Panzer IV and leaves the crew a bit upset about that. Tier 4 there, fun grabs, as you can see, the heavy Panzer Corps. Of course, sets up for a much nastier endgame, which could give Akazawa a bloody headache, but on the other hand, it could also give him maybe just enough time to, re-establish control, do something, but he's going to have to be fast about this, because if first he gets hit by a Panther or something like that, things could get a bit ugly for Akazawa if he does not have the right canvas for it. And it's very difficult to do that when he's not getting a lot of fuel. Fighting around here, Captain 50 Cavalry. In theory also versus Grenadiers up north, victory point being seized. Unguns very much got Akazawa here on the defense at the moment with his Panzerwaffe. All firing down the MD-42. Grenadiers being slowly murdered here by the Stewart light tank. In fact, the 5th Cavalry joining as well. Could see a white effect here. Almost dead, and there you go. Down they go, down they go. Grenadiers routed here. North point secured. We got the MD-42 up in the Pathfinders. 50 Cavalry setting up as well. Panzer goes straight forward and gets a nice hit in the 50 Cavalry crew, taking out half the team. Weapon racks actually rather late there for Akazawa, but better late than never. A pair of Barzas and bazookas additionally could do him a lot of good here versus Angreifen. And Angreifen's heavy Panzer Corps is very much battle operational, not far off from either calling in a Panther or Sturm Panzer. They can of course go for the Panzerwaffe right now. Panzer IV with the damaged engine, close to Veteran G1. Akazawa is slowly regaining control of the field here versus Angreifen. Angreifen leading an assault into the north to reclaim what is lost there from the armies. Captain Lieutenant himself is backed up by Rapmat, trying to go there for the Panzer IV, but decides to fall back with the anti-tank. There you go, Stormtroopers popping tactical advance. They would say the timing of it was a bit awkward. Should have been a bit closer, I think, before he went for that one, but still. pushes back some units. By the end, the Storms are now just taking a lot of damage without being able to do a lot in return. Unit got wiped somewhere. The anti-tank in the teams, and there you go, troops being suppressed. A7420 goes for the Scot first. Yeah, that was quickly cancelled, and I think for very good reason. I think the Scot here would not have made a ton of sense as his Angreifen. He wants the Sherman, he wants the Jackson tank destroyer, and maybe another anti-tank gun. If the Panzer Corps remains silent, he'll soon be able to call in the Sturmpanzer. Of course, he could just wait a bit longer and go for the Panther. Stuart versus Grenadiers, close to Veteran 3. Been holding up nicely with that one here versus Angreifen. Been holding out nicely. 2nd, 5th cover covering in the centre. Southern Victory Point seized as well. Panther forwarding southwards. He could go for the Sturmpanzer, and he does. I was about to say he could go for the Panther, I was about to say it looked like he was, but he is going for the Sturmpanzer here. Plus additional grenadiers to replace a lot. Oh, he cancelled the Sturmpanzer, so it looks like it is the Panther here for Angreifen. Anti-tank and air dropped in here for Akazawa. That's definitely going to help us. The panzers that Angreifen will be unleashing upon him in a few moments. Also begs the question, is he going for the Sherman, is he going for the Jacksons? And double anti-tank, the Jacksons don't going to be heavy as the arm, but certainly less effective as the Infantry. You know, Sherman and double anti-tanks will give at least somewhat of a mix. Again, as the Panther, double anti-tanks and Jacksons might in fact be exactly what he needs. So, you know, there's a bit to consider. As imagine, considering he's only seen the Panther fall for some time, I think he's seen the fuel cache, considering its damage he has. I mean, his opponent, you know, going for a Panther should not be a complete impossibility there for Akazawa, in which case, again, double anti-tank against Jacksons, yeah. So I suspect that's what he's planning here. And again, it won't make sense, especially from our perspective. Northern Victory Point being seized against Southern lost to the Germans once more. Grenadiers down to fire from the 5th cover. The Pathfinder's the lieutenant. We got the Panther joining in the fun. Narrowly misses the Stuart. That was really close there before Akazawa's Stuart has took quite a hit here. And the centre pioneers routed. And he can go for the Jackson now. Angreifen can go for the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5, if he so desires. Come there with bars. Just single bar, not double bar. Still there's the Stormtroopers, that range should have a chance to work out. Same as on the Jackson and the Panther. I mean, both players are clearly setting up for something big. They're just also not going for it, which is a bit amusing. There you go, Panther on the way there for Angreifen, for Deutschland. As for Akazawa, it's something. There we go, Jackson on the way. So it's going to be a bit late out here in the Panther, unless he uses the captain to supervise the Jackson out there. It's a bit of an overlooked ability amongst a lot of American players, but it does exist. Also a lot of ammunition, so you know, adding more weapons to his troops would be a good idea. You know, bazookas and the reactions, for example, would also be of help versus all that German armour, or just bars to help you with all the grenadiers. Got the grenadiers sorted there. A Stuart moving in. Ooh, grenade off in the anti-tank gun. Cheeky play there by Angreifen. Panther almost done. Jackson's also approaching that stage. Oh, being already. Finally going for the mortar. Panther almost done. Grenadiers there. Taking small hits there from the Stuart. 16 kills, not bad. Church collapses. Turning into a crumbling ruin of wood. And we got very aggressive S-mines here from Angreifen to block the small passages here for Akazawa. Very nasty. Plenty who doesn't actually realise what's going to actually suffer losses. So double cheeky there. Jackson done. Stuart's going to move in there to clear out the S-mines. Panzerkampfwagen 5 heading northwards. Pendle mountain machine gun being added. And Panzer 4 they're routed by the Jackson. He's pushed back a bit. Can't be too careful around that one. And another gun crew down. The anti-tank crew is in fact dead. Could go down, take it out here with a rifle grenade. Yeah, I think it's going to try with the rifle grenade. Nope, go on the 50 caliber instead. Both anti-tank guns cleared up. We got air support called in to break up Angreifen's armor. Assault, there you go. Anti-tank gun destroyed. P-47's unleashing rocket hell against the Panther IV, almost taking it out here. Grenadiers also taking staggering damage here on retreat from the Jackson. Stewart moving up. Jackson to come not to push too far ahead. Looks like the Panther IV escapes. Anti-tank the crew. Crews are being dropped here left, right by Angreifen and the 2nd Panzer Division. Another set of P-47s here. Panther taking hits there as the rockets pierce the side armor. Another hit there from the Jackson. Easy target there for the P-47s. Panther down to less than half health, meaning both of Angreifen's tanks are below half health and temporarily being hauled away from the front line. But there you go, big infantry push, taking advantage of the rest of the carnage here to roll through Akazawa's central defences, crumbling them away there as he lacks the infantry force, or the 50 calibers for that matter, to really stop them. Now the Jackson's suffering for it, getting Panther faster, ending up with a damaged engine. Stewart taken out here by the stormtroopers. Angreifen hits hard, very hard. And the entertainer's getting a crew's going to try and take out the Jackson. Oh, the absolute cheeky. No, he's going to run off with it instead, at least attempt to. Would have been very, very ballsy though if he'd actually managed to take it out with the anti-Jackson. This with the entertainer right under Akazawa's nose. And that would also be a bit sad for him. Akazawa, it is not for Angreifen. Captain there holding by the ace machine gun here. The situation for Akazawa and the 3rd Armoured Division is deteriorating a bit here as Angreifen continues to lead assault after assault, showing no mercy. It's really called in the MB-42 by the Major. Can Angreifen realise it? No, doesn't pay attention. At least the artillery's got called in rather poorly there. Hands are full moving out. Ooh, close shot there. Jackson good to go once more for Akazawa. He's going to try and take out the anti-tank before Angreifen. Oh, Akazawa get it back. And there you go. Rifle squad down, taking up the machine guns of the Panther IV. Other machine gun backing up the Panther IV. There you go. Jackson lands a nice hit on the front line with the Panther IV. And the 2nd anti-tank goes down. The situation here for Akazawa is looking not much better there. And Angreifen could go for a 2nd Panther now. Double Panthers would very well be a dangerous proposition there for Akazawa to have to deal with, since he'd lack the firepower, having lost double anti-tank guns. More S-mods, by the way, and the Major just blitzes straight into it. Now we got a Panther instead here for Angreifen. They can certainly also work. I think double Panthers would have been. Oh, he goes for the Sturmpanzer. The Sturmpanzer IV. Or Stupa. That'll definitely also give Akazawa a very uncomfortable experience. Smokes them down from the stormtroopers as they try to push through here, but looks like that assault has stalled. Up north, Panthers being stopped by the Jackson infantry row, being cut to ribbons here by 50 caliber and infantry fire. Pathfinder stopped by Morris mines. He has really been thorough as mining. Very good work there by Angreifen. Very nice. Does tend to be one of the things that I would say makes Angreifen stand out. He is very fond of using S-mines in very cheeky ways against his opponent when he plays Wehrmacht. So that tends to be a bit fun to watch in times there's only something worth paying attention to. Panzer IV back in action, halfway to T2. 395 versus 140. The situation is not improving here for Akazawa. He is trying to get out of the iron grip of Angreifen, but Angreifen so far is not letting go. Sturmpanzer being hauled forwards.
We're losing a capture point.
Shots fired there by the Panther IV. Jackson shoots on the Sturmpanzer, penetrates nicely. Got the pack out on the way there for Akazawa. Rather late to the party for that one, I'd say. I mean, not necessarily bad, even the pack out in particular on a smaller map like this versus the Wehrmacht can be good, but It does feel like more of a desperate move that he's just doing because he can, rather than think he's going to achieve anything now. Once Angreifen has a sizable artillery and arm advantage, plus infantry. 395 versus 107. Panthers going for the Jackson. Goes for it. There you go. Panther fast off. Jackson popping the 8 rounds. Panthers blitzing here. Jackson is blocking the way so the Panther can actually outmaneuver it, but still, Jackson is going nowhere fast. Panther 4 Sturmpanther flanking in here, popping out the crew here to somehow turn the situation around, but there you go. Jackson bites the dust. Panther forming up. Sturmpanther bombarding here the troops as well, firing a ton of 50 with the shells, and there you go. Unit down. Mortar troop the next here. Panther 4 gaining about 22. The situation, I would say, is completely lost here for Akazawa against Angreifen. Pathfinder's down. Panther 4 with 18 kills. Mortar crew taut, Lieutenant taut almost, and Angreifen's Panther 4 stands like an armoured behemoth, tearing its way through Akazawa's remaining lines. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss here for Akazawa. Nice play there by Angreifen, good use of the doctrine, though I suppose he could have used some of the abilities a bit more. Akazawa, I feel like could have done a bit more with his doctrine. I think he should have taken that faster, and probably should have looked more to flanking Angreifen at times. I think he over-focused too much in the centre, not outmaneuvering Angreifen, and paratroopers with submachine guns I think would also been a really good choice on the map here. I think a bit of notice like this as well by Akazawa. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, and if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Big thanks, of course, all those who already do pledge and support on Patreon. You're all my company here. So thank you all and see you all tomorrow. You're all a wonderful audience. Cheers.